Hello, internet world, it's your favorite movie expert, self-titled V from Movies Hunter, and today we are taking a stroll down memory lane to talk about a 2003 classic, The Dreamers. I know, some of you may be thinking 2003, that's ancient history, but bear with me folks, because this movie is worth revisiting. Our hero Matthew, a young man from the States who wanted to improve his French, ended up at the Cinémathèque Française. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's a move that would change his life forever. Little did he know he would become a protest goer, a dinner guest at a fancy French household, and a philosopher all in the same day. Talk about making the most of your study abroad experience. Matthew, with his newfound love of cinema, was struck with horror when he learned that Henry Langlois, I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, but whatever, the mastermind behind the Cinémathèque, was removed from his possession. Naturally, Matthew joined the hordes of people protesting in the streets, demanding a return of their beloved Henry. And that is where fate intervened. He met the delightful twins, Isabelle and Theo, and the three of them bonded over their shared love of film. They talked for hours until it was time for Matthew to go back to his apartment. And just when Matthew thought the night couldn't get any better, he gets a call from Theo inviting him to dinner. Matthew, being the smart man he is, accepts the invitation and finds himself in the presence of a renowned French poet and his family. And that's when he pulled out all the stops, impressing everyone with his philosophical musings. Who says exchange students can't be the life of the party? Now, while chatting with the twins, Matthew realizes that the relationship with their dear old dad is about as warm as a polar bear's toenails. Especially for Theo, who's banned from participating in protest faster than you can say tyranny. After chowing down on dinner, the twins' parents drop the bombshell that Matthew will be spending the night because it's apparently illegal to walk home after dark. Later that evening, Matthew learns that the twins have some seriously steamy secrets. Just before bed, Isabelle plants one on Theo, causing Matthew's jaw to drop like a teenager who just got his first kiss. And to really, twist the knife, Isabelle gives Matthew a smooch before retiring to her room. Theo shows Matthew to his own room, but the real fun starts later when Matthew gets up to pee. While tiptoeing back to bed, he stumbles upon a naughty little scene. Theo and Isabelle tangled up in sheets as naked as the day they were born. The next morning, the twins' parents hit the road for a month-long trip, leaving Matthew with a whole lot of questions. Isabelle greets him with a surprise booger lick, claiming it's a cure for sleep. And to top it all off, she reveals that she does the same to Theo every day. Just like normal siblings do. Matthew, our lucky protagonist, if that's even the right word, must have been over the moon to find friends his age who share the same interests. Little did he know he was in for an adventure. A movie guessing game, you say? Well, it's not every day you get to impress the cool twins, but Matthew pulls it off with ease. But wait, it gets better. The Twins Challenge. Matthew to break a world record at the loo, recreating a famous scene from Bon d'Après. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone with my pronunciation. I don't know how to pronounce it. Breaking records and making history all in a day's work. And they nail it, of course, because these three are unstoppable. But hold on, what is this? Matthew then finds a picture of Isabelle in Theo's room and hides it in his pants. Drama. It's a good thing they continued the guessing game, otherwise the tension would have been unbearable. When Theo's movie knowledge fails to impress, Isabelle challenges him to perform an intimate solo act in front of a poster of swimsuit model. Theo rises to the occasion with ease, much to Matthew's horror and disbelief. Meanwhile, Isabelle indulges in Theo's milk as if it's a fine wine. Later that day, the trio continued their guessing game, but Matthew and Isabelle were no match for Theo's movie knowledge. As punishment for their failure, Theo issued a daring challenge to get it on in front of him. Isabelle, being the adventurous type, eagerly stripped down, while poor Matthew ran for the hills, still a virgin and not quite ready for this level of punishment. But Theo, being the mastermind that he is, soon caught Matthew and forced him into the game. What the fuck, why am I talking like this? And as they awkwardly mated, Theo whipped up some eggs and calmly watched on. Who says you can't multitask? Afterwards, the truth was revealed. Isabelle too was a virgin, which means that even though the twins slept together naked in the same bed, they had never even touched each other. But that all changed as Matthew and Isabelle became lovers, mating every day and falling deeper in love. One day, Matthew asked the all-important question, what if your parents find out? Isabelle nonchalantly replied that she would simply take the easy way out and end it all. Classic. In the end, Matthew thanked Theo for introducing him to the wild world of twin love, but Theo set the record straight. This threesome was never meant to last forever, and they should just enjoy it while it does. Good morning! Or at least it would have been a good morning if Isabel didn't manage to turn breakfast into a blackened disaster. I mean, who needs a toaster when you've got a lighter and a pan? And to add insult to injury, they're out of money and their phone is dead. No more calling mom and dad for bailouts, I guess. So what do? Theo takes a walk to the trash to see if he can find anything edible. And what a feast he found! Leftovers galore. Well, except for one lonely banana. But hey, sharing is caring, right? So the three of them divide the banana equally and call it breakfast. Days go by and Matthew is getting used to his new roommates. I mean, they're sharing a bathtub, what's left to be uncomfortable about? But as much as he's trying to be a good sport, he can shake off the feeling that the twins are a bit childish, playing games all day and doing strange things. So in an attempt to turn them into functioning adults, Matthew takes Isabel out on a romantic date, leaving Theo behind. They spend the day gazing into each other's eyes and embracing each other while watching a movie. What a fairy tale. But when they get back home, Isabel finds a pile of clothes that doesn't belong to either of them. Uh-oh, it looks like Theo has a friend over, and not just any friend, a female one. So Matthew and Isabel tiptoe to Isabel's room, trying not to disturb the lovebirds. And before you know it, Matthew and Isabel are getting cozy themselves, but just as things are heating up, Isabel stops in the middle and starts bawling her eyes out. Why? Because she can hear Theo having a grand old time next door. Matthew attempts to comfort her, but Isabel lets him have it and demands he back off. Matthew comes to the realization that Isabel just can't seem to stay away from Theo because her love for him surpasses all else. Later on, Matthew and Theo engage in a heated discussion about their mutual passion for cinema. But things take a steamy turn when they start bickering about Maoism. Isabel suddenly appears and invites them to join her for a little surprise. She unveils a grand fort made of bedsheets where the three of them cuddle up for the night. Isabel awakes Theo the next morning and declares her love for him, to which he responds with his own affection. It becomes clear that these twins have more than just sibling love for each other. Isabel is determined not to lose Theo and wants to be by his side forever. The following morning, the twins' parents come home to a chaotic scene and are shocked to find their offspring tangled up in a fort of bedsheets with Matthew sans clothing. But they resist the urge to wake the lovebirds and choose to let them slumber peacefully. Instead, the twins' loving parents just drop off a check and take a hike, leaving the trio to deal with their own drama. Isabel wakes up to find the check and is filled with shame and despair, so she decides that the only situation is to gas herself and the boys to death. Just as she is settling in for the final nap, a brake comes crashing through the window, waking the gang up to the sound of a student riot in the street. "What a time to be alive!" they exclaim as they join in on the protest. But things quickly escalate as some students whip out their Molotov cocktails. Theo, feeling a little too eager for destruction, joins in while Matthew tries to be the voice of reason. He plants a kiss on both Isabel and Theo, declaring that violence is never the answer. But as usual, nobody listens to the voice of reason, and the twins proceed to light up the night with their fiery cocktails, leaving poor old Matthew behind. Matthew has a moment of clarity and decides it's time to say bye-bye to the dangerous duo and make his exit. What an adventure, right? Isabel and Theo, fueled by adrenaline and idiocy, run towards the police, hurling their Molotov cocktails and igniting the war. The police charge forward, trying to contain the chaos. And so, my loves, this was the story of the Dreamers. See you in the next hunt. Bye. Love you. Mwah.